USA News, I'm Tim Berg. As the war rages on between Israel and Hamas, Secretary of State Anthony Blinken says a strong offer is on the table for a ceasefire and that it's on Hamas to accept it.
I can tell you that we're intensely engaged every single day, almost every single hour, with Qatar, with Egypt, to see if we can get a ceasefire agreement that will get the hostages out, get more aid in, and create a pathway perhaps for a more lasting, secure solution.
The House of Representatives is passing a bill that could eventually lead to the banning of the social media app TikTok. Georgia Republican Congressman Buddy Carter tells Fox Business he's proud of his fellow colleagues in the chamber and argues they sent a loud and clear message to the rest of the world.
We're not going to shun our responsibility of protecting our homeland and protecting our citizens. Instead, we're not going to let a Chinese Communist Party-owned app operate here in America.
Concerns are growing about the U.S. dollar's status as a reserve currency as China continues to make deals with other countries using their own currency. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen describes what measures the United States is taking to counter these efforts.
We continue to run an economy where we have a commitment to low inflation and solid economic performance, and that underpins the dollar's use as a reserve currency.
The trial of a Michigan father charged in connection with the deadly school shooting carried out by his teenage son is heading to the jury. James Crumbly is charged with 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter in the deaths of 4 students at Oxford High School in 2021. The shooter's mother, Jennifer Crumbly, has already been found guilty on the same charges. This is USA News.
Omaha Steaks is rewriting the book on burgers with an all-new handmade texture for the juiciest home-style burgers you've ever tasted. Their pure ground burgers are made from single cuts of real aged Omaha steaks. These are truly steaks on a bun. Filet mignon, ribeye, New York strip, sirloin, and even brisket burgers. Now is the time to experience the exclusive Burger Perfection Flight for just $79.99. Go to omahasteaks.com and use promo code TREAT at checkout to get an extra $20 off your order plus free shipping. You'll get 4 of each pure ground burger so you can sample all the steak on a bun greatness. These burgers are crafted for a juicier, more tender experience, making your mouth water with every single bite. Don't wait. Go to omahasteaks.com. Use promo code TREAT at checkout and get $20 off the Burger Perfection Flight and discover your new burger obsession. Minimum order may be required.
Several counts in former President Donald Trump's Georgia election interference case are being dropped, following testimony from Fulton County District Attorney Fannie Willis about her relationship with the prosecutor she hired to help oversee the case. Former President Trump's legal team is weighing in.
I wish that all the counts had been dropped because that's probably what should have been. I mean, at least it was a step in the right direction.
Trump attorney Elena Haba on Fox News. The counts dropped allege that former President Trump and his cohorts solicited elected officials to help overturn the 2020 election results. However prepared any nation could be for a nuclear war, Russian President Vladimir Putin claims his country is. USA's Ryan Daniels with more.
The comments were part of a campaign message several days before the presidential election in Russia, where Putin is all but assured to secure his victory. In an interview aired on Russian television early Wednesday, Putin said he would consider it an escalation of tensions if U.S. or other Western allied troops showed up as combatants on the ground in Ukraine. When asked if Russia is ready for nuclear war, Putin said his military is prepared, but he told the everyday Russians watching at home and those foreigners watching abroad that he does not necessarily see nuclear war on the horizon.
President Biden hit the campaign trail on Wednesday, the president speaking in the battleground state of Wisconsin. For USA News, I'm Tim Berg.
Have you ever picked up a towel set because it felt really soft in the store, but then when you go to use it, it's not very absorbent? That's why MyPillow has developed the MyPillow towels. Towels that work. The 6-piece towel set includes 2 bath towels, 2 hand towels, and 2 washcloths. And right now you can receive a 6-piece set for only $39.98 with promo code USA. Go to MyPillow.com, click on the radio listener special, and enter promo code USA, or call 800-951-8175. That's MyPillow.com, promo code USA.
Let's face it, winter is here. When the temperature drops, so does your truck's performance. You know what I'm talking about. The hard, cold starts, rough idling, and fuel gelling. Avoid these problems by using Hot Shot Secret's EDT Plus Winter Defense. EDT Plus Winter Defense is a concentrated 7-in-1 fuel booster and anti-gel that prevents gelling and improves engine performance in the coldest of climates. The 7-point cetane boost decreases DPF regens, increases fuel economy and winter operability, plus the lubricity protection of LX4 to extend fuel system life. With EDT Plus Winter Defense, you can be confident that your engine is running smoothly and trouble-free, even in the coldest temperatures. Hot Shot Secret EDT Plus Winter Defense is available at Pilot Flying J truck stops, Amazon, O'Reilly Auto Parts, and HotShotSecret.com. Hot Shot Secret, powered by science.
The clock says it is time to roll. Get a new day started. So thank you very much. First things first, welcome in. And we'll call it Truck Thursday. There we go. Is it Truck Thursday or Friday Eve? Yes, indeed. Start looking toward the weekend. It'll be here before you know it. Thursday, 1 week from today. The calendar will say the 21st day of March. That would mean we'll actually be a pre-recorded program that morning, because later in the day, it's showtime from Louisville, Kentucky. We will be kicking off the Mid-America Truck Show. 3 big days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Got the full broadcast schedule posted. We'll be going live from 11 a.m. till 6 p.m. Thursday, then Friday. I believe it was it 10 a.m. till 6 p.m.? Saturday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. You'll be able to tune in, see what's going on live from Louisville for those. Yeah, a lot of folks, not everybody can make it into the big show. But looking forward to seeing a lot of new friends and hosting like what you'd call a family reunion. Friends that you pretty much see once a year. We all get together in one location to have a good time. Meanwhile, that is the Steve Summers Overnight Drive live from the Hot Shot Secret Studio. A cloudy night outside the secret bunker, but not too bad temperature-wise. I'm showing 57 degrees. All right, for several days, we've been advising there's going to be some potentially severe weather issues that will definitely be slowing your travel down, and that is indeed the case tonight, an active night. A lot of severe thunderstorms, a lot of straight-line damaging wind, a lot of reports of golf ball, ping pong ball, and even half-dollar size hail reports coming in. Have tornado watches that remain in place at this hour for northeastern portions of Kansas, over into the adjoining northwestern and central portions, north-central Missouri tonight. And in that mix, numerous severe thunderstorm warnings. You've got severe thunderstorm watches that extend all the way over to the Missouri-Illinois line. We'll see if they expand those as we progress through the night. But I had, let me see, the tornado warnings. There had been a number of tornado warnings throughout the evening. I don't know word on any confirmed tornadoes, but we haven't seen any warnings for at least the last hour or so. But again, the primary threat is still torrential rain, lots of hail, damaging straight-line winds. And this is only going to be expanding as we head through the day. Ingredients all coming together for a potentially dangerous, highly damaging hail event over the Great Plains and the Mississippi Valley on into, here we go, through Thursday into Thursday night. This is going to expand to include more than a dozen states in the middle of the nation. Now, we could at some point be talking hail the size of baseballs, hammering portions of north-central Kansas to north-central Missouri, and haven't seen any baseball-size hail reports yet, but silver dollar size, it's getting there. Golf ball and egg-size hail has already fallen on parts of Missouri and Kansas through the upcoming day, Thursday. Here's the breakdown. The risk of severe weather broadens and extends further to the south and east, all the way to northeastern Texas, northward to central Illinois and western Indiana. Now, some of our major metro areas at risk for severe weather and possible tornadoes include St. Louis, Dallas, Little Rock, Arkansas, Memphis, Tennessee, Shreveport, Louisiana, to Peoria, Illinois. They've outlined a high risk of severe weather centered on northwest Arkansas for later this afternoon into Thursday evening. Now, is the likelihood of several tornadoes as well as powerful straight-line winds during this event on into Thursday night. All these severe weather events will pose a significant risk to lives and property. The severe weather risk extending well past dark, which adds to the danger. Stay aware and updated with severe weather and tornado bulletins as they're issued. Have a plan of action in place for the family. You may, if you own a vehicle, you may want to take preventative measures to avoid total damage to your property, along with shattered windows and damage to vehicles. Hail this large, if you're caught outdoors, can cause serious injury or even death. By Friday, the storm triggering this severe weather will be past its peak as it moves on east, and the intensity of thunderstorms will likely ease up a bit. But along with that transition to a flash flood threat as it advances to the south and the east on Friday, general 2 to 4 inches of rain with local amounts in excess of 6 inches from northern and central Louisiana to central and southern Mississippi and on into Alabama. Daytime heating, they do say on Friday, may cause the leading edge of those downpours to erupt in some pretty robust thunderstorms once again in parts of the southeast. Meanwhile, as I look at the radar scene on the western flank of this storm, oh, looky there, the cold air is in place, and it is snowing to beat the band in the Denver area tonight. We're looking at an enhanced band, as they would call it, the dark blue showing up on the radar from right about Colorado Springs right on up into the Denver metro area. You get a little, not too far north of Denver, you'll be probably in a mixed bag. Actually, some areas just plain old rain from Denver to about Fort Collins. I think some colder air will be filtering in, and you'll see a transition to some snow there. But when all is said and done, this may be the season's biggest storm, burying the area from Denver to Colorado Springs. This is going to extend northward even into Boulder, Colorado, as conditions ramp up into the day ahead, Thursday, and even continuing into Friday. It's good news for the skiers and the snowmobilers and snow enthusiasts, but again, travel conditions will be a concern. Portions of I-25 and Interstate 70. Colorado's a massive state. Yeah, Colorado's like 105,000 square miles. This unfolding storm may bring accumulating snow and slippery travel to 80% of that area, unloading 6 inches or more of snow on close to a quarter of the state. Now, outside some of the mountains and the foothills, the rain will fall on much of central and eastern Colorado on into the evening hours. So there you go. They do confirm it's going to change over to snow as we progress through the overnight and into Thursday. There's going to be a tight gradient of snow accumulation that will occur with this storm. Denver's going to be right on the edge of the heavy snowfall. Now, that means there could be a big difference in accumulations over just a few miles, and that's kind of what I'm seeing on the radar there. From Denver south, heavy snow. Denver north right now still actually mixing in with rain. downtown Denver, as well as Denver International Airport, located east of the city. Forecast to get 6 to 10 inches before all is said and done. That would indeed make it the biggest snowfall of the season so far. Some of this is going to melt as it falls on the paved surfaces. Because of the long duration of the storm, the actual amount of snow on the ground may kind of surge and wane. Heaviest snowfall rates are likely to occur as we speak, Wednesday night to Thursday. There could be periods, which I believe now would be one of them. Snow could be coming down 1 to 2 inches per hour. Some areas will experience blizzard conditions and low visibility, winds gusting to 35 miles per hour. Major impacts along the I-25 corridor from Denver southward to the Palmer Divide. Snow in excess of a foot is expected there. Now, a whopping 1 to 3 feet of snow may pile up in many communities in the foothills just to the west and south of Denver and I-25. I mean, snowfall totals could be 60 inches in some areas. Power outages likely due to the wet, heavy, clinging nature of the snow over most of the Colorado high plains and the foothills there. When you combine the sap flowing and the buds filling out on the trees, adding extra weight to the branches, we could see large limbs breaking and bring down power lines at the same time. Heavy snow will also extend southward over the New Mexico and Arizona mountains, as well as Utah's Wasatch Range. You're very likely to experience travel difficulties over the higher terrain along I-40 in New Mexico and Arizona. The heavy snow extends northward into a large portion of Wyoming. Travel along Interstate 25 and 80 will also become very difficult at times in those areas. So indeed, a very active pattern with the snow in Denver tonight and the beginning of what's going to be several days of severe weather in the central portions and eventually much of the southeastern USA. Weather update, a service of Big Daddy Walker Productions. As we turn the page on the calendar, 14th day of March coming on, Truck Thursday. The Steve Summers Overnight Drive. We'll get to some of our listening friends checking in out of the box here at 844-844-3388.
At Hot Shot Secret, we share the science behind common diesel problems and their solutions. For example,
diesel fuel cetane levels.
In many states, the cetane rating in diesel fuel is 42 to 45. Most diesel engines operate more efficiently with a cetane rating of 48 to 50. One treatment of Hot Shot Secret Diesel Extreme will raise your cetane 7 points, increase fuel economy, and improve cold starts. Due to a cleaner burn, there are less hydrocarbons and particulate matter in your exhaust. This reduces the blockage of your diesel particulate filter. Using Diesel Extreme generates 83% less DPF regeneration. The 6-in-1 Diesel Extreme formula also includes the most concentrated detergent on the market, lubricity enhancer, water demulsifier, rust and corrosion inhibitors, and a fuel stabilizer.
Hot Shot Secret Diesel Extreme is available nationwide at truck stops, fine farm and auto stores, and online at hotshotsecret.com. Hot Shot Secret, powered by science.
Doc's Diesel is your one-stop online shop for diesel filter maintenance. Genuine quality, third-party tested filters for Cummins, PowerStroke, Duramax, and EcoDiesel trucks. Doc's cuts out the middleman and those pesky markups you often find from OMEs, dealerships, and parts stores. We make ordering easy with filter kits, subscriptions, and even dealer sign-ups if you have a fleet. Purchase your filters at www.docsdiesel.com and receive 10% off when you use code SUMMERS10. Doc's Diesel, your one-stop shop for diesel maintenance.
And now, back to the Steve Summers Overnight Drive, live from the Hot Shot Secret Studios.
Okay, brand new day. How about that? Marianne, first on board via the Facebook feed. Good morning, Steve. All my overnight friends. Went to physical therapy today and cooked some dinner. Hope you're doing well, Marianne. Shorty, I-95 southbound, Brunswick, Georgia, 57 degrees at this hour. It's Orlando, turnaround number 2. Good morning from Kevin. There's Larry. Afternoon, hammer down, be safe. Almost turned the AC on today. But I made it through with the fan. 56 degrees at this hour in Fishkill, New York. Round 3 to Schenectady tonight. Yeah, the eastern seaboard. The warm-up started back on Tuesday in the central states, and the warmer air continues to filter in on north. It looks like today, Thursday and Friday, are actually going to be the 2 warmest days there in the northeast along that I-95 corridor. Hello, Double R. Hello, Steve. Hope everybody's having a great night and a safe one at that. Good morning, everybody from Glenn. Stay safe out there. He's checking in from the Sunshine State. A nice 60 degrees today. Now, that's a little cool for Florida standards, isn't it? Hello, Captain Ron is in the house. Running late tonight. Load wasn't ready on time. 63 in Wildwood, Florida. Clear skies. Stars are shining bright. Semper Fi. All right. Hello to Roy. Country Bumpkin checks in. Good morning to the Overnight Drive family. Copy in the mail, as usual, from 5-7. Daniel on the other side of the country. Good morning from over by Spokane, Washington tonight. 38 degrees. Saddle up, nocturnal listeners. That must be Pappy. It's the midnight hour, 52 degrees on the far side of southwest Hamilton County, and somewhere deep beneath the Earth's crust, Steve's throwing the breakers. Raising the FR3 antenna, the Stiction Eliminator power mic is on. Stay Bill your lane, of course, because the Overnight Drive's about to hammer down. Hit those digits at 844-844-3388. Be a part of the show. Don't be a scarecrow. Or be like Big Ed. If you can't find them, grind them. Yes, indeed. Are you with me? Michael says, good evening from West Monroe, Louisiana. 72 degrees tonight. Rockpick. Hello, Steve. Truckers, third shift workers, and wise old night owls. Rochester International Airport, partly cloudy, 47, but happy Thursday to all you hard-working Americans. The weekend is near. Watch out for the other drivers. Stay safe. All right there. Brain dead. Morning. Yes, I know. It's my night off. Ask Dingbat, and she'll tell you. I've been off for a while. But the hounds wanted out before bedtime. It's clear 66 at the West Memphis International Airport Auto Repair and Beauty Salon. Sent you the story about Yellow and how the court is railroading us employees. All right, well, we'll get an update on that. It's off to bed for Brain Dead. I'll be checking in tomorrow night with the rest of the story, I presume. Lauren Weiss, 2-time world champion bull hauler, 72 degrees, partly cloudy in Wichita, Kansas. Got the powerful chrome-plated cow truck loaded like a freight train, pointed north at a high rate of speed. I'm ready for some Eagle commentary on the dropped charges there in Georgia. This will be an epic take. And a special shout-out to the trucking icon Hall of Famer, the Carolina Monkey Gouger, rolling down the Kansas Turnpike tonight. Troy, what's going on? Hello, 63 degrees in Floral City, Florida at this hour. Michael said we're looking at a high of 84 degrees later today. Wow, big time warm-up. Eskimo Bomb, howdy, Overnight Drive Nation. Happy Truck Thursday. Here we go, 5 days till both the Ohio primary and the first day of spring. And just 25 days till the solar eclipse. I got a 2-night of pedals tonight. Drop a few pallets off at another store before heading to my normal stops. We've got a few clouds, got a breezy, mild 62. Rolling on I-71 in the Bluegrass State at this hour. Hello to Too Tall. Good morning, Steve, and the Overnight Drive family. Everybody stay safe out there today. Gilligan is with us. Hello, Steve. Partly cloudy, warm, dry here in Lexington, Virginia. 50 degrees. Keep it shiny side up. Steve Thompson, good morning. The entire Overnight Drive team and all the truck drivers keeping things moving on our highways out there. You guys are the best. Made it south to Florida, and I'll be heading back to Virginia come Friday morning. Russell is checking in from Dayton, Ohio. Start my week back to work. Enjoyed my 3 days off. Hope all's well with you and the family, Steve, at the Secret Bunker. My wife's not 100%, but she is getting stronger every day. I'm hoping Brother Rambler's sister, I'm keeping her in my prayers. Y'all truckers, keep it between the ditches and be safe out there. And everybody, have a good day. Yeah, Norman, I imagine rain here in north central Kansas. I was checking up some of the latest advisories. Again, the severe thunderstorm warnings just continue rolling in one after another, and in most cases, 60-mile-an-hour winds and quarter-size hail, and that's what we're seeing from north central Kansas to northeastern Kansas. There's several different clusters as far east as southeastern Iowa and northeast Missouri. We're even seeing severe thunderstorm warnings in the mix there. So for some folks, it's like you'll go through a round of severe weather, rain lightens up a bit, and here comes another round, just kind of one after another as we progress into the new day. I do see the Weather Service has dropped the tornado watch, but they've expanded the severe thunderstorm watch to encounter pretty much all of northern Missouri, all the way down into southwestern Missouri and southeastern portions of Kansas, and even west central portions of Illinois tonight. So folks are going to get woke up to the rumbles of thunder from time to time. C&I Dog gets to fire things up this morning. Hi there.
Yep, I'm getting real excited about going to the eclipse. I have a friend who works for another trucking company, Southeastern. He lives in Texas area there, and he invited me to come down there. I'm thinking probably be better off in a private area opposed to a big public area. Mm-hmm. Make a picnic out of it, have a little bit of a party. All excited about that. As far as your show goes, there's a lot of radio shows out there that say, hey, give us a call, tell us what you think. But a lot of times they only take 2, 3, 4, 5 calls, and sometimes they give them about 3 minutes. Some of them, hey, you got a minute, go ahead, I recommend people calling you. A lot of people have a lot of things on their mind. I know they're a little bit nervous, but it's not that hard. I mean, it's nice, You kind of think about what you want to talk about, and you can have either describe what you're saying, or you can have a two-way conversation with you.
Sure.
I was thinking maybe I can do an Art Bell style advertisement for your phone number. Would it be all right?
You mean like
sound good?
East of the Rockies?
Yeah.
West of the Rockies. It's dial 844-844-33.
Yeah, that'd be fun. But I'm here in Illinois. The weather's great.
Well, hold that thought. I look at and we got the clock says, hey, a quick timeout. We'll be right back.
USA News Update. 6 charges against former President Trump and other defendants in the Georgia election interference case have been dropped. Georgia Superior Court Judge Scott McAfee dismissed charges related to solicitation of violation of oath by a public officer while keeping the remaining 41-count indictment intact. Lawyers representing a Boeing whistleblower whose death was determined to be from a self-inflicted gunshot wound over the weekend are urging authorities to conduct a more thorough investigation. 62-year-old John Barnett was found dead outside a hotel in Charleston, South Carolina. In a statement, Barnett's attorneys emphasized that they saw no signs suggesting he would take his own life. Don Lemon announced that his contract with Elon Musk for a new show on X is terminated. Lemon mentioned in a statement on X that Musk canceled the deal just hours after their interview, expressing displeasure with it. Lemon also promised to share more details about the situation in a separate video. John Schaefer, USA News.
Attention small business owners. This could be the most important 10-minute call you will ever make. You could recover up to $26,000 per employee today. And all you have to do is make one short 10-minute call to take your business up a notch or bounce back from these difficult couple of years. Omega Accounting Solutions can help you recover any payroll tax overpayments you made during the pandemic. You may even be eligible to receive up to $26,000 per employee. All it takes is a quick, easy, free 10-minute ERC consultation to determine if you qualify. Omega is the small business champion with teams dedicated to maximizing tax credits. They know their stuff so well that CPAs and payroll companies even turn to Omega for ERC tax guidance. Call 800-300-9ERC. That's 800-300-9ERC. 1-800-300-9ERC. Or visit OmegaTaxCredit.com.
At Hot Shot Secret, we share the science behind common diesel problems. For example,
product claims without proof.
Every trucker on the road has heard product claims about an additive that simply didn't match their experience. Proof is found from third-party testing by a recognized, credible source. That's proof. Hot Shot Secret Stiction Eliminator will improve your performance and fuel economy. For proof, we engaged the Ohio State University Center of Automotive Research to conduct an EPA-certified fuel economy test with Stiction Eliminator on a FedEx truck, a 2006 P500 Freightliner with 247,000 miles. The test showed a 3.6% increase in highway driving fuel economy from Stiction Eliminator, an oil additive. The complete report from OSU is available for download at hotshotsecret.com. That's proof.
Hot Shot Secret Stiction Eliminator, available at truck stops, Tractor Supply, O'Reilly's Auto Parts, and online at hotshotsecret.com. Hot Shot Secret, powered by science.
For anything diesel, take it to Scheid Diesel. They provide a wide variety of services and diagnostics to determine what the problem is with the latest technology. From simple oil changes and preventative maintenance to fuel system diagnostics and repairs, engine rebuilds and cylinder head repairs, and rebuilds with our in-house machine shop. They also have on-site DPF cleaning for exhaust issues and DOT inspections. If your diesel is asking for some attention, Scheid Diesel has the specialist you need for anything diesel. Located in Terre Haute and Lafayette, Indiana, and Effingham, Illinois, Scheid Diesel has you covered.
Hey, don't forget, as a listener to this program, you get 10% off your entire order at hotshotsecret.com by using the coupon code Overnight Drive.
Attention all truckers, Dean Michael, the tax doctor here. I want to talk to you about those dreaded tax problems. I know you want to keep on trucking and not even think about them. Well, let's face it, they're not going away all on their own. You need professional help. I've been helping truckers put their tax problems in the rearview mirror for years. I can help you too. Call me for a free consultation at 888-632-4506 or go to mytaxhelpmd.com. It's like I always say, keep your eyes on the road, I'll keep mine on the IRS. 888-632-4506.
How do you sleep on the road? After downtime, do you wake up well-rested and invigorated or tired, achy, and sore? Well, if it's the latter, you're not sleeping on the Big Rig Mattress. The Big Rig Mattress is a hybrid with an individually pocketed spring core that's engineered to deliver the best restorative sleep for your time on the road. Many drivers have said they sleep better over the road on the Big Rig Mattress than they do at home. Learn more about the Big Rig Mattress at thebigrigmattress.com or call 877-736-4233. Most standard sizes ship within 72 business hours. The Big Rig Mattress, 100% made in the USA since 2009.
Because Channel 19's a little congested. Call Steve now at 844-844-3388. The Overnight Drive.
All right, thank you much as we kick off Truck Thursday. What do you say? Someone suggested talk a little bit about your trucks. Now, one question was, who has the longest going rig that's been out there working on the road? I know Cue Ball's been with us the last couple of nights. I don't know if he's out there driving tonight or not. But I thought maybe he could call and tell his little story. His may be the oldest. If memory serves, it's 1984, right? So 94, 2004, 2004. 40 years? 40 years this truck's been on the road? Yeah, we'll see if Cue Ball can give us a ring. Let me quickly get back to the CNI dog there. All right, thanks for hanging in there, dog.
No problem. Thank you for taking me back. When you go to a karaoke bar, it's just like a regular bar, but what brings it to life is the participants, the people who grab up the microphone, they wait in line, and they put their favorite songs into queue, and they sing. And it brings a lot of life to the bar, and people have a great time. This show is very similar to that format. It's not just like where you call and comment about one topic or another. This is an open forum, and we really like to hear you out there. We do have our favorites and our locals that we want to call that, but I really like to hear what people think about many topics, or maybe some ideas, or maybe ask about trucking questions. How about ask a trucker? What do you think about this? What do you think about that? So give Steve a call when you can. 844-3388, and the new listeners get that $60 value.
That's
I've
right.
actually received that, and I use the product. Second thing I want to ask you is the drop charges that are in the news for against Trump, and they dropped the charges. Can you give us the rest of the story on that?
Absolutely. I've got the full report.
Thank you, Steve. Have a good night.
That's how it works. The CNI dog chiming in out of the box. Don't click on the wrong. Yes, the Georgia judge presiding over the Trump case for allegedly trying to steal the election, dismissing 6 charges from the indictment, according to for not being specific enough against the former president, and there were a handful of his co-defendants in that case as well. Yeah, the Fulton County judge dismissing charges alleging the co-defendants ask public officials to violate their oaths of office by switching presidential electors from those for Joe Biden, who won the state, to switch to Trump. A judge also ruled the indictment failed to provide enough detail about the underlying felonies in the requests that co-defendants were making in their meetings with lawmakers or a call to a state official. They do not give the defendants enough information to prepare their defenses intelligently. And the defendants could have violated the constitutions and thus the statute in dozens, if not hundreds, of distinct ways, said the judge. He said the problem could be easily remedied. He left in place acts described in the indictment, such as Trump's call to the Secretary of State, where he used the word find the votes needed. He also said the acts could still be alleged as part of the conspiracy. He did leave in place, there were, I guess, initially 41 charges in the indictment, so 35 are still in place. And still in the air is the question as to whether the district attorney, Fani Willis, may be removed from the case. The district attorney could potentially seek an updated indictment that might be more detailed, but some of the charges dropped. What is he? Trump had 3 of the 13 charges dropped against him. That dealt with allegations that he asked the House Speaker and Raffensperger to change the results of the election. Former White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows had 1 of 2 charges against him dismissed for setting up Trump's call on January 2nd to Raffensperger. And Meadows is still charged as part of the overall racketeering conspiracy, supposedly. Rudy Giuliani, who was the campaign lawyer, had 2 of his charges dropped, dealing with hearings in December of 2020, where he and others asked state lawmakers to switch presidential electors. Jason Eastman was a lawyer who helped develop the proposal to switch electors, had 1 of 9 charges dropped for a meeting with state lawmakers. Ray Smith was another lawyer, had 2 of 12 charges dropped, dealing with meetings with lawmakers. Robert Chile was another lawyer, had 1 of 10 charges dropped with a meeting with lawmakers. So Trump and there's 14 co-defendants charged with a racketeering conspiracy there in the state of Georgia. Again, waiting to see, will Fani Willis be removed from the case? That still could happen, which would really put things, that'd kick the can down the road for quite a lengthy period of time. Hello, Buckeye Boy, checking in from Ackworth, Georgia. This morning, 53 degrees, had a beautiful day this past day, and they're telling us 80 for a high here Thursday. Went to the Stepsons co-ed softball games. They got smoked by a much better team, but they were playing a bit better than they did last year. I coached third base, had more time to coach them up. That would be a lot better than what it is. I do what I can. They're a fun group of kids. Still waiting on whether I'm going to be heading to California tomorrow. I had some paperwork problems with the receiver. I may end up loading instead for Texas or Kansas City on Monday. We'll just have to wait and see. Good to see the Georgia judge in the Trump case dropping several of those ridiculous charges. Fani and her traffic ticket prosecuting lover have made up to try and get Trump out of the presidential race. So everybody have a great night. Everybody be careful out there. Dingbat, what's going on? Hello, Steve. The Dingbat, it makes people go dingbat crazy. Happy Pi Day, which means it's 3/14. Oh, boy, Pi Day. That's, if you didn't know. Haven't heard anything just yet with FedEx Express. We're just taking it one day at a time here. She's talking about the pilots and a potential strike there. Time for me to go have a nice argument with this pillow. We all know who's going to win that one. So I hope everybody has a great night. Safe travels to all out there. Jerry, good morning from Kokomo, Indiana, that would be, right? Be safe. Thank you to all the drivers. Norman is in north central Kansas. Yes, lots of thunder, lightning, heavy rains. There's Lauren Weiss. I guess he said he's rolling north. He's kind of headed into that. He said, I can see the lightning up your way from the Kansas Turnpike. This complex of storms looks huge. Yes, indeed it is. Lauren, I don't know how far you're going to get before you start running into this, but as I said, lots of strong straight line winds and ping pong to golf ball size hail. Numerous reports of that coming in with that complex. It is 844-844-3388. Rubber Duck just chimed in. Good morning. We've got rain, some thunder and lightning up here in the beautiful downtown LaPorte. See if we can wait the rain out till 9 a.m. Okay, lovely under the truck day yesterday. All good for another 15,000 miles. The inbred redneck, who I believe should be a quadrillionaire by now. What's going on, redneck?
Oh, buddy, just living the good life, relaxing and having a good time with all this, buddy. I tell you what now, sometimes when you ain't got nothing nice to say, I just don't say it. That's the reason I ain't gave you a call, buddy. You know, after all that stuff been going on here lately, the State of the Union, dismissing charges on Trump, God knows what else they got coming down the pike. Just to complicate a working man's life, buddy. Just to add a little bit more stress to it. And all you people out there, I want to tell you, Don't you fear, the inbred redneck is here. You know, I'm out there every day campaigning, kissing babies, shaking hands, groping wives, changing lives.
Right.
And I think I've come up with a plan to solve this illegal immigration. Just hear me out. It's real simple, buddy. If you want to kill something, you either cut off its hair or bleed it to death or something like that. You know, if you want to kill illegal immigration, it's real simple, buddy. I figured this out the other night while staring at a bottle of Heineken. All they got to do is make it illegal for any company in the U.S. to hire any illegal immigrant. And if the company does, and they're found guilty, the whole company reverts to the U.S. federal government. The ownership goes to the U.S. federal government. Now, Steve, I am just a simple man with a simple mind. But I know if I can figure this stuff out, why can't? How many of them they got up there? Yeah, they got, 9 Supreme Court justices? What is it? 102, 435.
We'll just say 500 plus lawmakers.
Yeah, 500 plus lawmakers and some inbred redneck in Jenkins, Kentucky can figure this stuff out. We ain't getting a fair shake on this, but, the way I have figured out a way for us all to get a fair shake on it, Steve. Instead of us shipping all these illegal immigrants back, we make it illegal for them to work at any company, coming and going. But we make it legal for the American people, as long as you don't have a company or will be using this person in any profiting way commercially, to hire illegal aliens and kept the price at 25 cents an hour.
Okay. You said cut my grass for 25 cents an hour, right?
That's right, Steve. I mean, we got to feed them and everything else. I mean, think about all this stuff, buddy. It's the only way. You got to cut the blood out. You got to get the reason. Hey, and if you do that, the job market's going to open up for all the legal people here in America. No longer will children be thinking. I mean, that's a big problem with the youth today, thinking, well, they'll never be anything without going to college. You know, Steve, when we were young men, all they told us was, yeah, you can probably go to college if you want to. You probably get ahead a little bit there, but also if you go over here and work really hard, you're probably going to get the same outcome. What has happened in America? Steve, I'm a doctor. I've got my doctorate. And you know what? It don't mean a hill of beans. It means nothing. It means nothing in the grand scheme of things unless I'm using it, and I ain't using it. And I just got it to be getting it. Just to say that I got it. Looks good on the campaign trail anyway. And then plus, if I get caught groping a wife, I tell the husband, hey,
I'm a doctor.
This is medical, buddy. Yeah, and don't be violating our HIPAA rights here, Let's keep this calm, cool, and collected, buddy. But Steve, it's simple solutions, but they don't look. It's real simple, America has gotten too complicated. Way too complicated. Just think about the food. It ought to be illegal for all these companies to add all this crazy stuff in your food. That's why America's fat, buddy. That's why America's fat for the most part. They're adding all these super corn syrup, googly gunks in everything and stuff. I mean, come on, Steve. If you're going to make Rice Krispies, there should be some rice and some Krispies in there. And that's it.
That's right.
Right, buddy? But I'm telling you, I'm pulling off the greatest thing ever. Right? A little bit of help from Elon Musk. I've got this worked out, buddy. And I bet you didn't know I working on that space program. You know, March 25th is coming up. That's when the big reveal happens, buddy. All I'm going to say is look to the night sky. Elon has finally made a rocket. Secret launch. Hogzilla is already up there. This is one of those heavy lift rockets.
I better be.
Yes, brother. And I ain't saying that. That cat's a genius. If you can get Hogzilla into space, you can do anything. Buddy, she's going to eclipse the moon on March 25th. Going to put it out. I mean, this will be the greatest campaign ever, Steve. She's even going to hold up a neon sign up there in space that says, "Inbred Redneck for President."
So the whole world can see.
Steve, yeah, I mean, this is why Musk turned down Trump, buddy. He's working with me. He's working with me, buddy. That's the way it goes, you know. He's a smart man. He knows which candidate's going to do what for who, you know. But, Steve, I heard you talking about the cue ball. I like cue ball. He's a good dude. But I got a truck just a little bit older than his.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah, buddy. I got the old 79 Kenworth Cabover. I know the cue ball loves Cabovers.
Yes.
Yeah, I've got the old 79 Kenworth Cabover. I don't have it tagged, but it's road ready at any time. So I don't know if I get the Guinness World Book Records or whatever, buddy, but he's going to have to work a little bit harder to catch up with that 79 with the 84.
You got him.
I don't think that math adds up.
You got him beat by 5 years. Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty good deal, buddy. I bought that truck back in 97. Guess how much I gave for it? You'd never guess in a million years.
What, super cheap?
V8 Butterfly. Bought it in the Mecca of the Appalachian Mountains, Sneedville, Tennessee, for $5,000.
Wow.
Yeah, buddy. But yeah. Sorry about that.
One final question. What the hell's been going on with you bought Dogecoin, the doggy coin, way back when. Did you sell all that off, or did you hang on to it? Because it's kind of like it's been going up and up and up.
Well, I still have 400,000 of it. You know, when I originally bought Dogecoin, and I traded them around for years when it was way, 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 way under a penny.
Yep.
Okay. I bought, there's been many times that I bought over 1 million Dogecoins for less than $1. But I figured I sold off 2/3 of what I had there when it jumped up to 70 cents. That was enough for me to retire because I already had some money back and whatever else. But, I figured, hold on a little less than a half of it. And maybe if it jumps up there, I figure the next big run probably going to be $1. And there's been times I've sold it off and then bought back in again. There's a couple times about, when was that? About a year ago, it jumped up like 20 cents and I sold them all off, waited for it to fall and bought back in, Just to have a little bit of pocket change, You know what I'm saying, Steve?
Well, how about your your Bitcoin? It's 72, 73,000 a coin right about now, right in that range.
Well, strategically, I bought 5 of those when they were at 20,000. So I think I've come out pretty good. I think there's a little bit more left, and I think, Steve, with all this funny money gambling, monopolization, and everything else, and the big deal was March 11th. I don't know if you realize what happened on March the 11th with the banking and everything else. But I believe Bitcoin will hit probably $100,000 this year. And my goal is to get rid of my Bitcoin once it hits $100,000. So
okay.
I may never see it.
Right now, 50 grand profit on 5 coins. That's $250,000. That ain't shabby.
Yeah, but you getting that bad deal like I was in, Steve, with capital gains and everything else.
Ah, that's right.
Well.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of taxes I paid there, which everybody's got to pay their fair share, but some of it was pretty ridiculous. But when I sold out 600,000 Dogecoin, that was I think it was right at $400,000. So wasn't too bad on the dollar investment, was it, Steve?
That's a good return. All right, well, inbred redneck for president. It is 844-844-3388. Rolling into Truck Thursday. First, we get a news break here. The Steve Summers Overnight Drive.
It's coming. Crisp fall mornings turn bitter cold. As you fire up your diesel, you can see your breath on the inside of the cab. Imagine looking deep into your engine. Freezing temperatures impact your diesel's fluids, especially fuel. On a 23-degree morning, the paraffin wax in your untreated fuel starts to morph from fluid to large crystals. These crystals clump together and form a gel. At minus 10 degrees, your fuel hits the point where it no longer pours like a liquid. It's so dense that the flow through the fuel filter will slow, causing hard starts or no starts. Get prepared now for the cold that is coming. Hot Shot Secret Diesel Winter Anti-Gel is a premium fuel additive that lowers your fuel's pour point to minus 65 degrees. If it's that cold out, you shouldn't be on the road. You ought to be at home in front of the fireplace. Hot Shot Secret Diesel Winter Anti-Gel Premium Fuel Additive. Available now online at HotShotSecret.com. Hot Shot Secret. Powered by science.
Whether you're a diesel pickup performance enthusiast or just looking for a small upgrade, when selecting common rail fuel system components, look no further than Exergy Performance. At Exergy, you'll find injectors, pumps, and more, engineered like no others on the market using state-of-the-art equipment run by people that have been in the business for decades. Exergy is the home of the Sportsman line of injectors. These injectors are designed for use in pickup trucks with no other modifications and offer a 15 to 20 horsepower gain while being calibrated to tighter tolerances than factory stock injectors. With the product lineup of injectors from Sportsman to 700% over, pumps from Sportsman to 14 millimeters, and complete engine control systems, Exergy has you covered. So if you're in the market for common rail components at any power level, contact Exergy Performance or one of our many dealers listed on our website at exergyperformance.com.
Live from the Hot Shot Secret Studios, the Steve Summers Overnight Drive.
USA News, I'm Tim Berg. As the war rages on between Israel and Hamas, Secretary of State Anthony Blinken says a strong offer is on the table for a ceasefire and that it's on Hamas to accept it.
I can tell you that we're intensely engaged every single day, almost every single hour, with Qatar, with Egypt, to see if we can get a ceasefire agreement that will get the hostages out, get more aid in, and create a pathway perhaps for a more lasting, secure solution.
The House of Representatives is passing a bill that could eventually lead to the banning of the social media app TikTok. Georgia Republican Congressman Buddy Carter tells Fox Business he's proud of his fellow colleagues in the chamber and argues they sent a loud and clear message to the rest of the world.
We're not going to shun our responsibility of protecting our homeland and protecting our citizens. Instead, we're not going to let a Chinese Communist Party-owned app operate here in America.
Concerns are growing about the U.S. dollar's status as a reserve currency as China continues to make deals with other countries using their own currency. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen describes what measures the United States is taking to counter these efforts.
We continue to run an economy where we have a commitment to low inflation and solid economic performance, and that underpins the dollar's use as a reserve currency.
The trial of a Michigan father charged in connection with the deadly school shooting carried out by his teenage son is heading to the jury. James Crumbly is charged with 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter in the deaths of 4 students at Oxford High School in 2021. The shooter's mother, Jennifer Crumbly, has already been found guilty on the same charges. This is USA News.
Omaha Steaks is rewriting the book on burgers with an all-new handmade texture for the juiciest home-style burgers you've ever tasted. Their pure ground burgers are made from single cuts of real aged Omaha steaks. These are truly steaks on a bun. Filet mignon, ribeye, New York strip, sirloin, and even brisket burgers. Now is the time to experience the exclusive Burger Perfection Flight for just $79.99. Go to omahasteaks.com and use promo code TREAT at checkout to get an extra $20 off your order plus free shipping. You'll get 4 of each pure ground burger so you can sample all the steak on a bun greatness. These burgers are crafted for a juicier, more tender experience, making your mouth water with every single bite. Don't wait. Go to omahasteaks.com. Use promo code TREAT at checkout and get $20 off the Burger Perfection Flight and discover your new burger obsession. Minimum order may be required.
Several counts in former President Donald Trump's Georgia election interference case are being dropped, following testimony from Fulton County District Attorney Fannie Willis about her relationship with the prosecutor she hired to help oversee the case. Former President Trump's legal team is weighing in.
I wish that all the counts had been dropped because that's probably what should have been. I mean, at least it was a step in the right direction.
Trump attorney Alina Habba on Fox News. The counts dropped allege that former President Trump and his cohorts solicited elected officials to help overturn the 2020 election results. However prepared any nation could be for a nuclear war, Russian President Vladimir Putin claims his country is. USA's Ryan Daniels with more.
The comments were part of a campaign message several days before the presidential election in Russia, where Putin is all but assured to secure his victory. In an interview aired on Russian television early Wednesday, Putin said he would consider it an escalation of tensions if U.S. or other Western allied troops showed up as combatants on the ground in Ukraine. When asked if Russia is ready for nuclear war, Putin said his military is prepared, But he told the everyday Russians watching at home and those foreigners watching abroad that he does not necessarily see nuclear war on the horizon.
President Biden hit the campaign trail on Wednesday, the president speaking in the battleground state of Wisconsin. For USA News, I'm Tim Berg.
Have you ever picked up a towel set because it felt really soft in the store, but then when you go to use it, it's not very absorbent? That's why MyPillow has developed the MyPillow towels. Towels that work. The 6-piece towel set includes 2 bath towels, 2 hand towels, and 2 washcloths. And right now you can receive a 6-piece set for only $39.98 with promo code USA. Go to MyPillow.com, click on the radio listener special, and enter promo code USA, or call 800-951-8175. That's MyPillow.com, promo code USA.
Let's face it, winter is here. When the temperature drops, so does your truck's performance. You know what I'm talking about. The hard cold starts, rough idling, and fuel gelling. Avoid these problems by using Hot Shot Secret's EDT Plus Winter Defense. EDT Plus Winter Defense is a concentrated 7-in-1 fuel booster and anti-gel that prevents gelling and improves engine performance in the coldest of climates. The 7-point cetane boost decreases DPF regens, increases fuel economy and winter operability, plus the lubricity protection of LX4 to extend fuel system life. With EDT Plus Winter Defense, you can be confident that your engine is running smoothly and trouble-free, even in the coldest temperatures. Hot Shot Secret EDT Plus Winter Defense is available at Pilot Flying J truck stops, Amazon, O'Reilly Auto Parts, and HotShotSecret.com. Hot Shot Secret, powered by science.
All right, cue the mic, another hour. Here we go. Who else checking in? There's Cliff. Hello from Hamilton. Norman is in the rain. Over 3/4 of an inch of rain in the last hour. Yeah, these storms flat out putting it down. And I guess the good news is not tornadic activity. It's just severe thunderstorm. Lots of strong 60-mile-an-hour straight-line winds and lots of over and over again quarter-size hail are the reports coming in. Meanwhile, it's 844-844-3388 as we get to some of the industry headlines this morning. We've talked off and on about this ongoing construction zone in Louisiana. Trucks are not supposed to be rolling through there. CDL Life shared a story that at least one state trooper is downright sick of truck drivers getting stuck in that construction zone on I-20 in Louisiana. The truck ban is in place. This I-20 rehab project started back last September, which prompted a ban of semi-trucks as the temporary traffic configuration grew more narrow and treacherous for commercial vehicles. Since that ban was implemented in December, hundreds of trucks have been issued citations for violating the ban, but issues with trucks overturning in the construction zone continue. One truck driver, Trinidad Calderon, says he was on I-20 in Louisiana in that construction zone just last week when a fellow driver overturned his rig. Obviously, backup that lasted for 16 hours. Now, Calderon said that he and about 7 other truckers were stuck on that altogether, and all of them were cited for failure to obey the construction signs while they were sitting in the traffic there. So what is the problem? Now, Calderon said he was standing outside his vehicle talking with another motorist during the backup when a state trooper showed up. And the other person, the citizen, says, "How are you this evening, trooper?" And he said, "I'm sick of these effing truck drivers." Despite the frustration from law enforcement, Calderon says he thinks the problem is, they're not seeing the signage. It's not stubborn truck drivers. Now, he said that citing drivers is not going to help. But if you want them to stop using 20, change the signs to be more noticeable. He said he did not see the signs whatsoever. Now, of course, we do have bad apples in every industry. I don't think every one of these truck drivers, like the 7 guys that were out here with me, I don't think none of us could tell what those signs said because we never saw them. Now, CDL Life did have a photograph right there before the entrance ramp, and obviously it's on each side coming in from either direction, but it's not necessarily that noticeable. Maybe larger signage. I think they did have the flashing lights on it, so you might pay attention to the sign during the nighttime hours, but sick and tired of these effing truck drivers. All right, SpaceX, here it is. We're counting down once again later this morning. SpaceX is hoping to launch their first Starship test of the new year. What they're hoping will be a historic orbital flight of the world's biggest rocket. And if you need to know when to watch, here you go. SpaceX is targeting this morning, March 14, from their Starbase facility near Boca Chica Beach in South Texas. Now, there's a 110-minute window that opens up this morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. Now, they did say they're going to webcast the launch attempt starting about 7:30 this morning. The SpaceX Starship and the Super Heavy booster, the world's tallest and most powerful rocket. When they're stacked together, we're talking 400 feet tall. That first stage powered by 33 Raptor engines. It's an incredible vehicle. The upper stage actually carrying 6 additional Raptor engines. It's designed to be fully reusable. They hope to use it for deep space exploration. One of these days, of course, returning to the moon and eventually returning to Mars. They've already sold 2 private trips around the moon on Starship. NASA picking Starship to land their Artemis 3 astronauts on the moon in 2026. But first, they have to prove. First, it has to be able to reach orbit and successfully return, let alone getting to the moon. Now, the previous 2 attempts have failed to do so. One in April and one in November of last year. So 8 a.m., the window opens for this 3rd Starship test flight. That's when the 110-minute window to launch opens. And they will be live streaming the liftoff beginning 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time this morning. I'm hoping to be able to tune into some of that, but I've got a busy schedule. Got several things on the slate that are going to throw me out of the bunker for a few hours there, so I may or may not get to tune in for that. It is March. In the March short-term energy outlook, where are your diesel prices going to be going? The Energy Information Administration has changed their Brent crude oil forecast, despite the expectation of continued growth in our U.S. crude oil production. As we've cited, Sundance Kid several times have cited, we are producing record amounts of oil in this country right now. There are some significant sources of uncertainty that are in the crude oil forecast. What's going on with the Red Sea, of course, the conflict there. How the Red Sea conflict could affect production, and how strictly the OPEC Plus members will adhere to their voluntary production cuts. Now, on the other side, they say natural gas costs are expected to continue to lower as domestic natural gas production also decreases this year. But some members have announced curtailments in production or reductions in upstream spending on natural gas-directed activities this year. With so much domestic natural gas production tied to the growing crude production, we expect natural gas production to decrease far more slowly than the prices have. Now, the Energy Information Administration still anticipates a downward trend in fuel prices for at least the first half of this year. Diesel prices averaging $3.92 per gallon in the second quarter is their forecast. They're forecasting that increasing to $4.18 per gallon in the first quarter of next year, before then decreasing through the end of 2025. The next 2 years, they say, could see an all-time high in driving activity. According to the Energy Information Administration, last year, 2023, drivers in the United States averaged 8.9 billion vehicle miles traveled every single day. If you could fathom that, 8.9 billion miles per day. All right, 844-844-3388. Let's see if is it the Horseman, I believe, who we got on the line?
It's Horseman.
Well, good morning, Horseman.
You there?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Hey, I run across 20 through Louisiana every Tuesday night. There's a big overhead sign reaches all the way across the interstate that says all commercial vehicles use I-220. There's another smaller one on the ground just before you get to the exit ramp, I-220.
Okay.
Last night, they had a full road sitting out there with every one of his lights burning, and on the other end of just the other side of the overpass there, they had another one sitting out there with all his lights burning. Why do these guys claim they're not seeing it?
Okay.
Now, eastbound, I don't know how it's set up, but westbound, that's the way it's set up.
The little photo that I saw from CDL Life, I'm not sure where this particular ramp to get on 20 was. I saw, but it was really just it looks like maybe like a 4 foot wide, maybe 2 foot tall kind of sign. Yeah, no trucks.
One of those
on
little
I-20.
construction arrows.
Kind of thing. Yeah, that kind of thing. But I'm not sure where it was.
Yeah. But they've got one of those right at the exit ramp, and they've got another big old overhead all the way across the interstate up just before that tells you commercial traffic, I-220.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
How do you miss letters 6 inches tall?
Well, I guess that's the question that that particular trooper had, who's tired of these effing trucks getting turned over in there.
Yeah, I don't know exactly where the construction is in there, but now some of those guys may be going into the casino and coming back out. I don't know, because there's several casinos right there after you get past that point in town. So I don't know what they're doing. I've seen the trucks blow by there, but I just figured, well, they're either going to the casino or they're delivering somewhere on the east end of town.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it's so well marked, Steve. It's not funny. Like I said, the letters are 6 inches tall.
So in other words, there should be no excuses.
Right, especially I only go through there westbound. I don't go back eastbound that way, but I go through there westbound, and that's what it's like going westbound through there. And I go through there every Tuesday night.
Okay.
But that's all I had. I just, like I said, I don't know. Is it foreigners that can't read English?
That's what I was kind of surmising. Now, the guy, obviously, that they interviewed, he could speak English, but I can't help but question, because we know that, as many have said, and any truck stop you go into, you're lucky. Grump the other day said if 50% of the drivers in there could speak English, you're lucky. So,
yeah. But that's all I got.
Well, Horseman, are you a first-time caller by chance? We get you a $60
code?
Oh,
no, sir. This is about the third time I've called you since you started on the new on your program.
Okay.
And I used to call you on WLW.
Well,
nope, not a first-time caller. I'm more of a listener than a talker. Wise men told me years ago, you keep your mouth shut, your ears and eyes open, you'd be surprised at what you learn. And you know that old adage has worked well for me through my 70 years.
I hear you. Okay. Well, hey, I appreciate you taking the time to dial us up this morning, though.
Well, I'm going to get out of here and keep strolling this way.
Thank you for being a part of the program. Thank you for listening. Yeah. And don't be a stranger. All right. It's 844-844-3388. The Steve Summers Overnight Drive.
At Hot Shot Secret, we share the science behind common diesel problems. For example,
turbocharger spool time.
Turbochargers are designed to increase the efficiency and power of the diesel engine by forcing compressed air into the combustion chamber. Temperatures inside the turbo can reach upwards of 400 degrees. The oil meant to lubricate the bearings will burn, leaving behind a sticky residue called stiction. The turbo's ability to spool up quickly is hindered because the stiction-covered bearings can't spin properly. Hot Shot Secret Stiction Eliminator cleans the stiction from turbo bearings, reducing spool time, and builds maximum boost sooner in the RPM range. Stiction Eliminator is a synthetic cleaner plus nano-lubricant that contains no harmful solvents and is formulated to be left in the engine to safely dissolve stiction for thousands of miles. It works as you drive.
Hot Shot Secret Stiction Eliminator. Available at truck stops, Tractor Supply, O'Reilly's Auto Parts, and online at hotshotsecret.com. Hot Shot Secret. Powered by science.
If that sound gives you nightmares, there's a cheap and easy way to avoid engines not firing. Stable, America's #1 fuel stabilizer, ensures quick and easy starts after storage. Stable's proprietary formula keeps fuel fresh for 2 years, outperforming competitors. Pour Stable in your gas can or directly into the tank of your car, truck, hybrid, boat, ATV, motorcycle, or lawnmower to prevent fuel-related engine problems that cost time and money. When you store, start with Stable.
And now, back to the Steve Summers Overnight Drive.
Well, good morning to Jeffrey, checking in from Florida. Better late than never, Jeffrey. A little late to class this morning, aren't you? Good to have you on board. Carolina Monkey Gouger in the house. Shout out to two-time champion bull hauler, Malibu Lauren Weiss. I'm sorry, Lauren Weiss. And all the radio listeners out there. And looky there. He's live and in Technicolor this Truck Thursday morning. You say, Monkey Gouger?
Well, good morning, Steve-O. How is things going in radio land tonight?
Trying to keep it between the ditches, if you know what I mean.
Well, I tell you one thing, man. I run the air conditioner this afternoon. I woke up and I was sweating. I turned the air conditioner on to cool down. Walked out the motel room a while ago, and it must be 32 degrees out there.
Whoa!
I mean, it has really
the cold front came
really
through.
Went from one. Yeah, I mean, it went from one extreme to the next, buddy. I mean, you done hit the weatherhead right on the head. I got a good friend, old Todd Ayers. He's out there running around Missouri right now. He's somewhere around the Marshall area, and I was talking to him, and he said, man, it's bad up here. He sent me some pictures, and it looked like they got about 2 foot, maybe a foot of hail in the highway. He couldn't even tell what the highway was.
Wow.
The yellow line covered up.
Yeah.
And I mean, that hail laying all over the road. They've had some right bad weather, and I reckon we were bracing for the second round of it, supposed to hit Texas in the morning, is what they were saying.
Yeah, everything. I mean, Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, later in the day today, it's all it'll start firing up, definitely.
but I mean, it got bad over there. And just from the pictures I seen of it, I'm glad I'm not in the middle of it right now, because I mean, them boys are catching hell out there. But
now where were they?
Steve, we're one day closer.
Where were they?
Did that be?
Well, I'm sorry. Where were they checking in from? Were they up in Kansas or Missouri or?
He was at Marshall, Missouri.
Okay.
Because me and him was talking, and I said, "Wait a minute, let me bring up the national weather map." And I mean, they had tornado warnings up there, tornado watches, bad hail. I mean that hail from the pictures he sent me looked like they was a good foot deep on the highway.
Wow.
And he said, "Man, it's tough luck." And he was on a 2-lane road going, trying to get over to the destination. But it looked rough. I'm glad I ain't in the middle of it.
Right now, I mean, these thunderstorm watches with hail have been coming in. I mean, just one after another. And right now, I mean, northeast Kansas and north central Kansas, they're talking 60-mile-an-hour winds and $half size hail. I don't know, $half size. That's probably enough to bust some windows, ain't it?
Yeah, that's enough to tear a truck up. That's for sure. I mean, dent the hoods up and everything else. A lot of damage, them things do.
Well,
but,
you mentioned we're one day closer. Yeehaw.
One day closer, David, to that big reunion up there at Louisville. I can't hardly wait to get up there. I load up tomorrow night, head back to Marina Del Rey, drop my load off, and go home, pack up everything, and then Tuesday about 7 o'clock, we're going to start easing up that way.
Mm-hmm.
And it just doesn't seem like it's been a year, does it, Steve?
Absolutely not. It's no doubt.
I mean, it just seemed like we was there last year. All of a sudden, we're heading off into another new one. 2024 be in the books before we know it's over with,
Mm-hmm.
But like I say, I want to tell everybody, if you get a chance, come on by. I see a lot of activity on the Facebook, people wanting to come by the booth and visit. But I went today. I needed to get some stuff, and I took the pickup and went over to Clovis, New Mexico, to the Tractor Supply, and they didn't have. I mean, they had sold out of Hot Shot Secrets. They said this stuff is flying off the shelf faster than we can stock it. And I was trying to get some of that everyday diesel treatment and some. I've got to change the oil, and I was wanting to put the Fiction Eliminator in, and couldn't find it. And the girl said, "Man, this stuff is just flying off the shelf. We can't keep it."
Well, that's a good
thing.
They
had plenty of that other stuff up there.
They needed to place a bigger order.
Yeah, that's what I said, And they said, "Well, we got it. I mean, the truck will be in about Thursday." I said, "About Thursday, I'm going to be smoking towards South Carolina, baby, hammer down." Oh, no. But talking about that deal there in Freeport, Steve, I go that way a lot when I go back home. It's, it all depends. And like the I-55 bridge is going to be closed this week in Memphis. And I'm not going over there for all this spring break going on and everything. Hey, that was something else I wanted to. Have you seen what Miami has done to the spring breakers?
I know that they're charging like $100 to park, and they're trying to quell the violence. I mean, shutting down some of the bars at like 6 o'clock in the evening. What else they doing?
Oh man, they're doing all kind of stuff down there. I mean, they shut the bar down. They overcharging for. But you know something? I don't blame them, the mayor or the police, for doing that. I mean, every night during spring break, you got them bunch of crazies down there. Got to get out in the street and fuss and fight and throw beer balls and everything else, and they're tired of it. And I don't blame them, not one bit.
Yeah, I know we touched a little bit on that last evening, but. Hey, we got to pause there.
USA News Update. Around 100 million TikTok users in the U.S. could have to find a new way to occupy their time as the House has approved a bill that may lead to the banning of the Chinese-owned app. Lawmakers express worries about the potential access of the Chinese government to the personal data of millions of Americans. Opponents argue such a ban could infringe upon free speech rights. 6 charges against former President Trump and other defendants in the Georgia election interference case have been dropped. Georgia Superior Court Judge Scott McAfee dismissed charges related to solicitation of violation of oath by a public officer while keeping the remaining 41-count indictment intact. A sizable gathering of pro-Palestinian demonstrators forced the closure of San Francisco's International Terminal Wednesday. Videos show vehicles obstructing entrance ramps outside, while inside hundreds are seen blocking gates, elevators, and escalators. John Schaefer, USA News.
Attention small business owners. This could be the most important 10-minute call you will ever make. You could recover up to $26,000 per employee today. And all you have to do is make one short 10-minute call to take your business up a notch or bounce back from these difficult couple of years. Omega Accounting Solutions can help you recover any payroll tax overpayments you made during the pandemic. You may even be eligible to receive up to $26,000 per employee. All it takes is a quick, easy, free 10-minute ERC consultation to determine if you qualify. Omega is the small business champion with teams dedicated to maximizing tax credits. They know their stuff so well that CPAs and payroll companies even turn to Omega for ERC tax guidance. Call 800-300-9ERC. That's 800-300-9ERC. 1-800-300-9ERC.
Do you have a Dodge pickup and hate your automatic transmission? Of course you do. LaVon Miller at Firepunk Diesel here, and we specialize in heavy-duty and performance transmissions for your 3-quarter or 1-ton Cummins-powered truck. So if you're interested in turning your stock slush box into a towing monster, call us today at 614-733-3744 or visit us online at shop.firepunk.com.
At Hot Shot Secret, we share the science behind common diesel problems and their solutions. For example,
diesel fuel cetane levels.
in many states, the cetane rating in diesel fuel is 42 to 45. Most diesel engines operate more efficiently with a cetane rating of 48 to 50. One treatment of Hot Shot Secret Diesel Extreme will raise your cetane 7 points, increase fuel economy, and improve cold starts. Due to a cleaner burn, there are less hydrocarbons and particulate matter in your exhaust. This reduces the blockage of your diesel particulate filter. Using Diesel Extreme generates 83% less DPF regeneration. The 6-in-1 Diesel Extreme formula also includes the most concentrated detergent on the market, lubricity enhancer, water demulsifier, rust and corrosion inhibitors, and a fuel stabilizer.
Hot Shot Secret Diesel Extreme is available nationwide at truck stops, fine farm and auto stores, and online at hotshotsecret.com. Hot Shot Secret, powered by science.
Hey, if you're needing to stock up on Hot Shot Secret products, don't forget, use the coupon code Overnight Drive at checkout. You'll get 10% off your entire order at hotshotsecret.com. Over $5 a gallon for diesel? Wow, it's the highest it's ever been. Now what if you could get paid to use a fuel additive? Hear me out. Hot Shot Secret Everyday Diesel Treatment, EDT, will improve your miles per gallon enough that the fuel economy savings will not only pay for the cost of the product, but also keep more money in your pocket. Think about it. At $5 a gallon, you're paying over $1,200 to fill up and going 1,500 miles on a full tank. Well, Hot Shot Secret Everyday Diesel Treatment will increase fuel economy up to 3%. That's an extra 45 miles per tank, $37 worth of diesel, and a savings of 2 cents every mile. EDT is so strong, it only takes $12 worth of EDT to get these savings, and you get all the other benefits of this 6-in-1 treatment. Take the EDT challenge today. If you're not completely satisfied, we'll refund your purchase. EDT is available at Pilot Flying J, Love's Travel Stops, and TA and Petro Stopping Centers. Learn more at hotshotsecret.com.
At Turbo 3000, our founder Andy Matouche firmly believed you should challenge yourself.
Put the most money back in your pocket where it belongs.
Four Wheeler Magazine took our challenge, and they wrote it did exactly what we said it would do.
As fuel prices keep going up, get your Turbo 3000 from manufacturer direct. Call us at 888-311-9993. Always free shipping in the USA, and for a limited time, save $45 off total purchase using coupon code SteveSaves at turbo3000.com.
And now, back to the Steve Summers Overnight Drive, live from the Hot Shot Secret Studios.
I was just trying to pull up, as they call, the rest of the story. As Gouger brought up spring break. Here just a few hours ago, New York Post says this particular weekend coming up, this particular weekend of the spring break has seen the most bloodshed in previous years, according to a city commissioner. And this is going to be the true test of whether the city's attempts to distance itself from co-ed chaos has worked. The governor's dispatched at least 140 state troopers and other resources, drones, license plate readers to Miami Beach and other popular beach towns in a preemptive strike against spring break crime, which officials say they're bracing for as St. Patrick's Day weekend approaches. I kind of forgot about that. Trying to distance themselves from spring breakers after last year's 488 arrests, including 230 felonies and 2 homicides, seizing more than 105 firearms. Just last year's spring break. Now, Miami Beach commissioner was on Fox and Friends, and he said he and fellow commissioners reached out to Governor DeSantis and said, hey, instead of coming on the last weekend, and when there were no shootings, there are no stampedes, we want to be proactive. Last year's calamity completely ruined the city's brand as a city. And as a result, Miami Beach elected more conservative-leaning Mayor Stephen Minor. And that affected, I guess, last year's November elections, all the violence there in Miami. Former FBI agent and Miami Beach resident said it makes a world of difference that this year's new elected officials are backing the blue as we battle spring break. You know, when your mayor is and who your local leaders are make a big difference. If you're in law enforcement and your local enforcements don't let you enforce the laws and your hands are tied, obviously you're going to see the crime. You're going to see the violence. You're going to see the problems. So I guess we'll see if this actually makes the difference in 2024. I didn't realize that spring break actually impacted their election last November. All right, Gouger, welcome back.
Hey, Steve, I was listening to the news a while ago, and they said that trial against Trump, they tossed some of the charges against Trump, like 3 or 4 of them, but they're still going to let it remain intact. What did they do with the Fani Willis and her boyfriend?
That is still up in the air. That is yet to be determined whether she's going to be pulled off the case.
This is such a malfunction of justice. I cannot believe that idiot judge who donated to Fani Willis's campaign and let her come in there and wreck his courthouse and give her all kind of leeway, and he let this happen. I mean, this is golly. I mean, I just can't believe what I read. I mean, it's just, I mean, the truckers has already got all the shells in New York City bare. What we're going to do, boycott Atlanta now? Which I say, let's go ahead and do it. That governor over there ain't doing nothing for us. I mean, I just could not believe what I read just a while ago. So, anyway, that's enough of that tonight. But anyway, I want to tell everybody, come on by the Hot Shot Secret Studios. And it's not in the secret bunker starting Thursday morning. It will be at the Louisville Truck Show, Mid-America Truck Show Live, and they will be in charge. So y'all come on by and visit us and get your favorite Hot Shot Secret products.
There will
be plenty of it there.
They will have, they'll be loading up the big trailer to head to Louisville in this case.
You know, last year, they were telling us they sold completely out. The warehouse was even empty. That's how much they sold up there last year.
They had it was a good show last year. Yes.
I mean,
all right, Gouger. So our broadcast schedule, I don't know if you lost him or what. Let me see here. To come by the booth to be a part of the show, Thursday, 1 p.m. to 6 p.m., Friday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., and Saturday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. That's the pretty much the full show hours, with the exception of Thursday. Thursday has they call it a VIP from like 11 a.m. till 1 p.m. Doors officially open to the public at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. We'll be there, hopefully, with bells on all 3 days. Pat says, rock on. So that's the breakdown. See what's going on with 5-7 as we get a new day underway. Hey there.
Hey there. Signage. You know, I come out of Savannah right now. They throwed up a sign. Bay Street goes right down through downtown Savannah. Well, I'm coming out of the industrial area. And I cut in through there, go through the hood, back up on the bridge, get into South Carolina. Now on that signage, it just says Bay Street will be shut down to through traffic, on the 16th. Well, I'm on Bay Street, so where is it shut down? And so signage. I'm glad Horseman called in. That cleared up. That way I didn't make a fool of myself there. Apparently there's plenty of electric signage or whatever. But here's a question, because I don't have one. And I know you've got truck GPS, you've got car GPS. I mean, when you're following that GPS, truck GPS, does it tell you to go on a detour? Or does that indicate it? And, and in my opinion, if you're following that, you're a foreigner, you can't read English.
Yep.
The guy's name that spoke in that story sounded like he may have not, his roots, like the rest of us, his roots might be a real greener foreigner. Maybe couldn't read English because of doing it with the phones or giving it everything in their language. So that's a question. Does anybody else out there that runs this stuff, does it like when they shut it down to a truck, does it compute into your GPS? Number one, truckers shouldn't be using a civilian or a GPS in a truck.
Right.
That's just wrong all the way around. And there's the other question is driverless trucks. I wonder what that state trooper's going to say when they've got a whole bunch of driverless trucks piled up into a construction zone. Mind you, to that state trooper, the rubber on his cars, trucks, the metal in his car, trucks, the interior trucks, his uniform trucks, his pistol trucks, his ammunition trucks, the food he ate this morning, trucks, the food he's going to eat this afternoon, trucks, and the toilet paper he's going to use later is trucks. Matter of fact, the badge on his chest is trucks. So there's a lot of questions in that story, and I just sort of maybe the drivers are following that GPS, not reading the signs, or maybe, like we've been saying, they ain't been able to. They can read their own language. They might even be able to speak it. Just because you can speak English doesn't mean you can read it. So that'd be my question out there. Just throwing it out there. And I'm glad I do what I do. I just up and down the road, same old, same old. I don't have to worry about parking. Don't have to worry about logs. I just fill out a timesheet. Just back and forth, and go home. I'll tell you, just one time I stopped when I was doing over the road out there just before you going westbound on 70, eastbound, just before you get to 77. I pulled in, there's a McDonald's that had truck parking. And I pull in there, and if you don't know, you turn that left at the stop sign or at the street light. You turn that left, as soon as you got straightened out, you have to turn left into the driveway to take you back to the truck park. If you're not familiar with that, it'd be easy to go straight, and right there, clearly, no trucks over such and such weight limit. I'm standing there drinking, ordering my biscuit and coffee, and I had some guy laughing, and he said, look at that, hey, whole truck driver. That dumbass can't read the F sign, I turned around and I said, listen, I said, whoa, you got to realize you got some truck drivers in here, and I'm one of them. And I said, we spend half our time out here lost. We have a lot of us over the road don't know where we're at or what we're doing, and we're having to catch it, it's that easy to miss the sign. I said, and I put it to him. I said, he'd live and learn, but he said, you better be careful about what you're saying. This whole restaurant's probably full of truck drivers. He turned red-faced. He didn't say nothing else. God bless him. But I think in the whole story, what got me was that trooper saying that about it. That was very unprofessional of him. Keep that opinion in his car when he steps out. Show a little bit of professional. And hey, if you don't like your job, state trooper, find another job, because what else are you going to be sick and tired of? Take it out on the public you're supposed to be serving. That's my take on it. I'll be 5-7. We're going to cupping the mail, and we're going to be listening to Steve Summers Overnight Drive.
All right, and safe travels. Good to have you on board. And it is 844-844-3388.
At Hot Shot Secret, we share the science behind common diesel problems. For example,
turbocharger spool time.
Turbochargers are designed to increase the efficiency and power of the diesel engine by forcing compressed air into the combustion chamber. Temperatures inside the turbo can reach upwards of 400 degrees. The oil meant to lubricate the bearings will burn, leaving behind a sticky residue called stiction. The turbo's ability to spool up quickly is hindered because the stiction-covered bearings can't spin properly. Hot Shot Secret Stiction Eliminator cleans the stiction from turbo bearings, reducing spool time, and builds maximum boost sooner in the RPM range. Stiction Eliminator is a synthetic cleaner plus nano lubricant that contains no harmful solvents and is formulated to be left in the engine to safely dissolve stiction for thousands of miles. It works as you drive.
Hot Shot Secret Stiction Eliminator, available at truck stops, Tractor Supply, O'Reilly's Auto Parts, and online at hotshotsecret.com. Hot Shot Secret, powered by science.
About 25% of your trucking business revenue goes to paying for fuel. Most fleet cards promise big discounts, but charge hefty fees and limit where you can fuel up. Well, it's time for a change. The Bobtail Zero MasterCard is the zero-fee way to save money and control your fuel spending. Bobtail Zero charges nothing in fees and can be used anywhere MasterCard is accepted. Approval can take just minutes. Apply now at bobtail.com and take back control of your business. The Bobtail Zero MasterCard is issued by Bancorp Bank N.A. MasterCard and the Circles design are registered trademarks of MasterCard International Incorporated.
And now, back to the Steve Summers Overnight Drive, live from the Hot Shot Secret Studios.
A couple of things I can update you on here. We know, again, the I-55 bridge there in Memphis remains shut down. Pretty much the rest of this week and all next. It's a 2-week closure that started last Sunday evening. Meanwhile, there was another bridge closure that apparently reopened this past day. That was the Sherman-Minton Bridge. Officially reopened to traffic both directions yesterday morning. Now, this is between New Albany, Indiana, and Louisville, Kentucky. They closed it down after a component of the bridge deck on the main span was found to need inspection and possible repair, which indeed it needed repair. The subsequent repair found lateral beams under the top deck of the bridge were out of alignment. So it was closed for several days till they could get those repairs made. Crews were focused on relocating temporary construction rigging, tensioning the connections, and conducting thorough, detailed inspections. According to the news release from the Sherman-Minton Renewal Project, the thoroughness of our inspections, analysis, and design repair plans gave us confidence enough that it's safe to reopen the bridge this past day. All right, all safety specifications required by the Indiana DOT and the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet and the Federal Highway Administration were met before the bridge reopened to traffic this past morning. I'm not sure how much of a headache that closure had been causing, but I'm sure it was pretty significant. That's a very busy span there. Moving to, if we can touch on climate change, right? How the human race, we are the cause. We're what's, especially the internal combustion engine, fossil fuels. And we're doing all we can, all these things, stringent requirements for manufacturing facilities, power generation facilities, everybody's car, everybody's truck. Yet we know what's going on to reduce our, quote, carbon footprint. I've said many times before, every year we deal with wildfire season. Here just a few weeks ago, we already had an early start to wildfire season there in the Texas Panhandle region with that massive blaze. Now, in this modern day and age, when a wildfire starts, we bring in all these resources, firefighters and equipment to cut lines, barrier lines, and stop the progression of these blazes. I want you to think back in time, hundreds of years ago, thousands of years ago, when no one was living here in the lower 48 in the United States of America. Who was in control? There were no firefighters. It was Mother Nature. Most of these blazes are ignited by strikes of lightning. Mother Nature starts a fire. A blaze will burn until it finally decides it's done. Or Mother Nature may bring in some rain to stop the blaze. Millions upon millions of acres in the history of this planet would burn unabated with no human interaction. Now, just an example from Bloomberg this past day. The massive wildfires raging across Texas released a combined 920,000 metric tons of carbon dioxide in January and February. The second largest release on record for that period. In January, Texas fires pumped out 120,000 tons of carbon emissions, according to the Copernicus Atmosphere Monitoring Service. The data was shared with Bloomberg. February saw even more fire activity, including the Smokehouse Creek fire, largest fire on record in Texas. It and other blazes across the state emitted a staggering 800,000 tons of carbon emissions in February, or roughly 28% of U.S. fire-driven carbon emissions. Comparing Texas fire-linked carbon emissions over the past 2 decades, the extent of their satellite record, 2024 ranks behind only the year 2008 at this point, when nearly 1.2 million tons of carbon were released over the first 2 months of the year. Now, these calculations do not include emissions from the fires burning in the first half of March, as the dry, windy weather continued to make full containment a challenge. Researchers made the calculation using the Copernicus Atmosphere Monitoring Service's Global Fire Assimilation System, which provides up-to-date information on the location, intensity, emissions of wildfires, vegetation fires, open burning around the world, using satellite instruments that can gauge how hot a fire is burning, which can in turn help estimate the emissions. Beyond the staggering carbon footprint, the Texas fires have killed more than 7,000 livestock animals, as well as burned down ranches and homes. They've also impacted land set aside for carbon credits. Now, how much CO2 was released from that land specifically remains to be seen. This is land set aside for carbon credits. It's burning. The Smokehouse Creek fire, which Xcel Energy equipment likely played a role in igniting, burning more than 1 million acres in Texas and Oklahoma. Now, they're still technically, I guess, fighting that blaze. The 89% containment as of this past day, according to the Texas A&M Forest Service. Who's going to pay for all the carbon credits for those wildfires? Now, they very well could go after Xcel Energy because that blaze was, they believe, started by downed power lines from the winds. But in so many other cases, all this that we're doing on a global scale with this Green New Deal and electrifying everything, trying to reduce the carbon footprint, as so many times Vic has explained, this planet has gone through warming cycles and cooling cycles, and that's not going to change. And we are not in control. The human race is not in control. Mother Nature is still in charge, and no matter how much we try to defy the odds. All right, about a minute before news break, so we'll take care of that first and then get back to our calls. Sundance Kid going to be checking in. Looks like Philip's online from Florida. I don't think Philip's going to get a chance to see that launch later this morning, but it is a pretty lengthy window that will be opening up. And I was kind of concerned about looking at all the weather that's going to be impacting Oklahoma, Texas later in the day today. I mean, we're even seeing some of these stronger storms beginning to fire this morning in northern portions of Oklahoma and some rapid expansion further to the east. But I think all the way down in southern Texas, they're far enough to the south there in Boca Chica where weather should not play a role. I think weather conditions should be favorable for that launch window of the Starship coming up later on this morning. So great to have you on board as we roll into Truck Thursday, as we like to call it, or Friday Eve. And hello to Rick in Columbus, up and at 'em this Thursday morning. Good to have you on board. And John Ferguson chimed in a few minutes ago. Morning, I'm in northwest Illinois, headed east on 74. Lots of lightning all across my windshield off to the southeast.
It's coming. Crisp fall mornings turn bitter cold. As you fire up your diesel, you can see your breath on the inside of the cab. Imagine looking deep into your engine. Freezing temperatures impact your diesel's fluids, especially fuel. On a 23-degree morning, the paraffin wax in your untreated fuel starts to morph from fluid to large crystals. These crystals clump together and form a gel. At minus 10 degrees, your fuel hits the point where it no longer pours like a liquid. It's so dense that the flow through the fuel filter will slow, causing hard starts or no starts. Get prepared now for the cold that is coming. Hot Shot Secret Diesel Winter Anti-Gel is a premium fuel additive that lowers your fuel's pour point to minus 65 degrees. If it's that cold out, you shouldn't be on the road. You ought to be at home in front of the fireplace. Hot Shot Secret Diesel Winter Anti-Gel Premium Fuel Additive. Available now online at hotshotsecret.com. Hot Shot Secret. Powered by science.
Whether you're a diesel pickup performance enthusiast or just looking for a small upgrade, when selecting common rail fuel system components, look no further than Exergy Performance. At Exergy, you'll find injectors, pumps, and more, engineered like no others on the market using state-of-the-art equipment run by people that have been in the business for decades. Exergy is the home of the Sportsman line of injectors. These injectors are designed for use in pickup trucks with no other modifications and offer a 15 to 20 horsepower gain while being calibrated to tighter tolerances than factory stock injectors. With the product lineup of injectors from Sportsman to 700% over, pumps from Sportsman to 14 millimeters, and complete engine control systems, Exergy has you covered. So if you're in the market for common rail components at any power level, contact Exergy Performance or one of our many dealers listed on our website at exergyperformance.com.
Live from the Hot Shot Secret Studios, the Steve Summers Overnight Drive.
USA News, I'm John Schaefer. 6 charges against former President Trump and other defendants in the Georgia election interference case have been dropped. Georgia Superior Court Judge Scott McAfee dismissed charges related to solicitation of violation of oath by a public officer while keeping the remaining 41-count indictment intact. Judge McAfee, who will also decide if Fulton County DA Fani Willis remains on the case amidst conflict of interest allegation, presides over the matter. Around 100 million TikTok users in the U.S. could have to find a new way to occupy hours of their time, as the House has approved a bill that may lead to the banning of the Chinese-owned app. Lawmakers express worries about the potential access of the Chinese government to the personal data of millions of Americans, while opponents argue that such a ban could infringe upon free speech rights. The White House is urging the Senate to also pass the TikTok bill recently passed by the House. Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre emphasized the administration's eagerness for the Senate to promptly bring the bill to a vote.
This bill would not ban apps like TikTok, period. What it would do is to ensure that ownership, as I just stated, of these apps wouldn't be in the hands of those who can exploit them or to do us harm.
This legislation mandates TikTok's parent company, Chinese-owned tech behemoth ByteDance, to divest the app within 180 days or face its removal from U.S. app stores. Lawyers representing a Boeing whistleblower whose death was determined to be from a self-inflicted gunshot wound over the weekend are urging authorities to conduct a more thorough investigation. 62-year-old John Barnett was found dead outside a hotel in Charleston, South Carolina. In a statement, his attorneys say they saw no signs suggesting he would take his own life. A San Diego law firm is initiating a federal lawsuit against Philip Morris. They allege the nicotine product Zyn is being marketed toward young individuals. This is USA News.
Omaha Steaks is rewriting the book on burgers with an all-new handmade texture for the juiciest home-style burgers you've ever tasted. Their pure ground burgers are made from single cuts of real, aged Omaha steaks. These are truly steaks on a bun. Filet mignon, ribeye, New York strip, sirloin, and even brisket burgers. Now is the time to experience the exclusive Burger Perfection Flight for just $79.99. Go to omahasteaks.com and use promo code TREAT at checkout to get an extra $20 off your order plus free shipping. You'll get 4 of each pure ground burger so you can sample all the steak on a bun greatness. These burgers are crafted for a juicier, more tender experience, making your mouth water with every single bite. Don't wait. Go to omahasteaks.com. Use promo code TREAT at checkout and get $20 off the Burger Perfection Flight and discover your new burger obsession. Minimum order may be required.
However prepared any one nation could be for nuclear war, Russian President Vladimir Putin claims his country is. USA's Ryan Daniels with more.
The comments were part of a campaign message several days before the presidential election in Russia, where Putin is all but assured to secure his victory. In an interview aired on Russian television early Wednesday, Putin said he would consider it an escalation of tensions if U.S. or other Western allied troops showed up as combatants on the ground in Ukraine. When asked if Russia is ready for nuclear war, Putin said his military is prepared, but he told the everyday Russians watching at home and those foreigners watching abroad that he does not necessarily see nuclear war on the horizon.
Later this month, independent presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. plans to disclose his pick for a running mate. He announced that he will host a campaign gathering on March 26th in Oakland, California. The announcement follows his confirmation of deliberating over NFL quarterback Aaron Rodgers and former Minnesota governor and professional wrestler Jesse Ventura for the role. In the race for California's next senator, Democrat Representative Adam Schiff has been surpassed by Republican Steve Garvey in the latest count. Garvey leads by just under 5,000 votes, with 85% of the ballots counted. Both candidates are expected to advance to November, vying for the seat left vacant by the late Senator Dianne Feinstein. I'm John Schaefer, USA News.
Have you ever picked up a towel set because it felt really soft in the store, but then when you go to use it, it's not very absorbent? That's why MyPillow has developed the MyPillow towels. Towels that work. The 6-piece towel set includes 2 bath towels, 2 hand towels, and 2 washcloths. And right now you can receive a 6-piece set for only $39.98 with promo code USA. Go to MyPillow.com, click on the radio listener special, and enter promo code USA, or call 800-951-8175. That's MyPillow.com, promo code USA.
Life on the road is tough, but the Big Rig mattress is tougher. With 15 years of industry-leading technology, our hybrid mattresses with its individual pocketed spring core is the best on the market. Road tested for millions of miles, it is the last mattress you'll buy for your truck. We are so confident that's why our spring support core is guaranteed for 10 years. Most sizes ship within 72 hours. Custom sizes are also available. When you get tired of waking up with sore, achy muscles, visit thebigrigmattress.com or call 877-736-4233. Rest assured, with the Big Rig Mattress, we've got your back.
Increase fuel economy up to 7.9% with Hot Shot Secret Gasoline Extreme. The solution to maximize your engine's performance and fuel economy. Whether you're driving a sports car or a daily commuter, Gasoline Extreme is specially formulated with PEA to deep clean. Don't settle for an average driving experience. Upgrade to Hot Shot Secret Gasoline Extreme and go further on each tank. Order now on Amazon or HotShotSecret.com.
All right, thank you much. Welcome back, or welcome aboard. Those may be just joining us this hour. And I know we got some folks just joining in. Let's get a weather update brought to you by Big Daddy Walker Productions. Eastern USA enjoying the warm-up, right? And now out west, it's the flip side of the coin. As Gouger mentioned here a bit ago, he had the AC on this past day and stepped out of the hotel a bit ago, 30-something degrees. Now, temperatures in places like Indianapolis, Detroit already started climbing early in the week, within a few degrees of 70 this past day. Now, further east, D.C., Raleigh, North Carolina, your forecast to reach the upper 70s, maybe approaching 80. Later today and maybe Thursday and Friday, this high of temperatures definitely above average. Even the highest so far this spring. But they're not talking about record levels falling in the next couple of days. March obviously been running a little bit warmer than average thus far for the interior Northeast and parts of the Great Lakes. Buffalo takes the lead, one of the warmest locations since the 1st of March, running about 15 degrees above where you would typically be this time of year. So it looks like the next opportunity for wet weather in this region comes up late today, late Thursday, as that storm we're talking about this morning continues to strengthen in the Midwest. It will bring some rain to the Great Lakes in the Ohio Valley by the end of the day. before spreading over the Northeast and the Tennessee River Valley by Friday. This day, Thursday, looks to be quite the active day. We start things off even at this early morning hour as the severe thunderstorm warnings just one after another. Pull up the latest couple that are coming in here. South central Kansas. We're talking 60-mile-an-hour winds, quarter-size hail being reported in that particular zone. That's been the trend with one after another. From the Weather Service office in Wichita, southeastern Kansas, south central Kansas. Ken, 60-mile-an-hour winds. A lot of hail. I can't imagine the number of vehicles with quarter to $half size hail. And as the day progresses, these hail reports are expected to continue growing, and in some cases, baseball size. I see the insurance companies are going to be having, the claims are just going to be pouring in for all these damaged vehicles over such a widespread area. It's not like one particular thunderstorm hail that produced some hail. It's so widespread, and big hail reports that continue to pour in. But let's get back to the calls here. We've got Sundance Kid checking in. What's happening out there?
Oh, not much, Mr. Summers. How you doing?
Hanging with them.
Hanging with them. I hear you. All right. Well, I was listening to Inbred Redneck a while ago talking about and this is America built on a Ponzi scheme? Is that what we are? Because he's buying something, speculating. The only way he's going to make $100,000 off of Bitcoin if somebody's stupid enough to pay him $100,000 for a Bitcoin. And who's going to, I mean, I've seen Bitcoin at $1, and I kick myself in the butt every day. But I didn't understand it. It was kind of crazy back then.
Well, honestly, I mean, even with all that I've been explained time and time again, I still really don't grasp what the hell it's all about.
Yeah, it's make-believe. I mean, and I've got some Shiba Inu, and it's going up, and, I put in about $8,000, and I've got about $40,000 in all the stuff, but I'm just letting it ride. But I'm speculating, and
sure.
And this is not good for an economy. It makes no sense. But that being said, I think I've got a way to change America. We'll start a bank. It's going to be called America 2.0. We're going to reset. When you turn 18, you come get your card, your bank account, you get $1 million.
$1 million. Wow. I'll take that.
Yep.
Where's that?
Yep.
Where's my magical million coming from? We're just going to print it up like the Federal Reserve, right?
No. See, here's the way it works. See, I don't understand. See, I made some money, but it's like all the money I made, I gave it back to them. So they still got all the money that was ever created, that I created. I create money myself. Everybody that buys anything, you create money. When you go to get your house, you create money. When you buy a car, you create money. It's not just the government, it's us too. And then we devalue our money because we spend like we Rockefellers in this country for some reason.
Well, we're not creating money. We're just recirculating money. The government makes the money, and
we're not.
And the reason the value of the dollar is going down is because they keep on printing more and more.
Yeah, but when you go get a loan at the bank, you printing money. They have to print the money for that amount of money to be in the system. Somebody's got to get paid so that money's in the system. That's the way it works. It's not just the government. When people go buy a $400,000 house, there's $400,000 of money that's got to be put into the system.
And
that's where we've gone crazy.
That's money somebody had to earn. You have to work to earn money, or maybe get an inheritance. There is a certain amount of money in circulation right now. It's not a finite number, though. Like Bitcoin, there is a finite number there. There's only once they reach however many coins, that's all there's going to be. There's not going to ever be any more. U.S. currency, unlike most other countries, most countries do have a finite amount. We just print more and more and more.
Right. We print it when we go get loans. That's exactly right. It's not just the government. The Federal Reserve prints the money, and there is whatever the finite amount of money that is in circulation right now. That's how much there is. If the Federal Reserve would stop printing money, the value of the dollar should technically stop dropping. But we're pretty much killing ourselves by continuing to print trillions and trillions of dollars. How many years did we go through the quantitative easing thing? That's where they called it quantitative easing. That's where they just print more money, print it up, trying to put more money in circulation. Right. Well, right, and then we got that money, didn't we? Didn't they give it to the banks?
Oh, the banks give it.
And then the banks loaned it out.
They loaned you money, and of course, then you have to work to pay that money back to the bank.
Okay, but like I said, anyway, we're not going to agree on people are creating their own. When you go to the bank and you get a loan, you create money yourself. So the money's got to be made. There's no money in the bank. There's no money in the bank. It's all zeros and ones. It's all digits. They don't have a bunch of money. And I bet you. And I'll tell you this right here. I will, if anybody's got a note past 2019, okay, since we spent